Hey guys, so today I got another really cool video for you. It's going to be another interesting or unique items from my military collection. I want to say Happy New Year. Hope all of you are doing well already. This is my first video this year and hopefully the first of many this year. Appreciate all the support and everything, and I hope you like all the content that I make this year. Hopefully I'm entertaining for you guys as I have been in the past. Appreciate all the support and everything. Y'all keep encouraging me to do this. I'm very passionate about it. Love it a lot. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring you in. I got a table full of some really cool stuff to share with you. All right. So as you see, I've got a table full of some really cool items here. Got some patches, newspapers, camera, helmets, uniforms. I really enjoy making these videos, just something kind of different from time to time. And so I'll go ahead and get started here. So I'll start with the newspapers here. This first one that's in this frame, I actually got this off Facebook Marketplace recently. And what's interesting about it, and the reason it's in this video, or part of the reason, is it's from December 8th, 1941. This is an original newspaper. But something that's interesting to me, though, is I was kind of looking at it, and I was looking, it says the Senate votes 82-0 in favor of, going into war, right? The U.S. declaring war. It says the House 388 voted yes and 1 voted no. And I'm thinking, who in the world, who out of the Senate and the House of Representatives at the time, who is the one person that voted against going to war? And I kind of looked into that because it was interesting to me. And it was a woman named Jeannette Rankin from Montana. And from what I read about her, just a little bit about her, said evidently she was an outspoken pacifist. She was against war and did not want us to go into war, to enter into World War II. It had already been going on, obviously. But so one person out of, if you combine the Senate and the House, you're looking at, what's that, 470 people roughly, 471. And she was the only person out of 471 people that voted against it. I thought that was kind of interesting. Got this newspaper for 30 bucks. Thought it was really cool. Thankful to have it in the collection. This next newspaper here, definitely got to be careful with it. What's cool about it is, look at the date on it. October 11th of 1918. So it's exactly 1 month before World War I ended. So this is an original newspaper. It's kind of brittle in the middle, but it's really cool to have a newspaper that's already 105 years old. Honestly, I'm not big on collecting, paper items because they're so brittle, and especially when they get older or depending on the conditions they've been stored in, can be hard to display or they'll just fall apart and crumble. But still pretty cool, and thankful to have an original World War I newspaper. It's very cool. Thankful to have it in the collection. Moving on here, I've got these World War II era CBI shoulder patches. And as you see, there's 7 of them. And I actually got these at an estate sale probably about, I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe like 3 years or so ago. And I got them all for $5 a piece. And it's really cool because there's so many different variations here that are represented. A lot of theater made ones and everything. This one's a bullion. It's very, very cool and awesomely made. This one's really nice. Some of them have really cool backs to them as well. It's just kind of cool, the different examples and designs and everything that were made, during the war and everything. This one is more like a leather patch. That's really awesome. Another one here. Pretty cool. These are pretty collectible. I'm not saying they're extremely rare or anything, because, they're definitely out there. But, just to have 7 of them, and none of the 7 are the same. They're all different, and I thought it was kind of cool. And again, for $5 a piece, I got all 7 of them for $35. You can't beat that. Moving on here, I've got this. It's actually a lead soldier. And some of you guys might know it, but if you don't, I actually like to metal detect as well. Honestly, I don't get out just a ton, but when I do, it's always cool to find, items from history. And I actually metal detected down South Mississippi a few times and found Civil War bullets and some old coins and different things. And I actually found this lead soldier that was carved by a Civil War soldier. It's kind of boogered up at the bottom, and the head is missing, and more than likely it probably would have had a rifle in this hand that's missing here. But really cool to think, a Civil War soldier could have carved this, sitting around a campfire or something. It's really awesome and kind of unique. Love finding, relics from history. Thankful I was able to find that for sure. Moving on right here. Actually, now these two items, they don't actually belong in my collection. They're actually my wife's. But I wanted to show you anyways because they're interesting. So this is an original graphics camera that my wife, believe it or not, she got this at a yard sale for $20. Probably, again, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. $20, and it came with a case and other, accessories. $20 for, like I said, this would be World War II era. She knows more about the cameras and stuff than I do, so I'm not sure if this would be late 30s into 40s, or maybe they just started making them in the 40s. Some of y'all can correct me right off the bat, but really, really awesome graphics camera. It's original. This is the type of camera that Ken Rosenthal used when he got the famous shot of Iwo Jima flag raising. So very, very cool graphics camera. I'm thankful, she has something cool like this in her collection and allows me to share it in videos of mine. Right here, I really like this picture here. I actually got at the Show of Shows last year, and I can't remember if I paid $5 or $10 for it or what it was, but I might be wrong on the price. But anyways, I like it so much because it reminds me so much of our little baby girl who, believe it or not, a week from today, on January 18th, she'll be 1. Seems like she was just born maybe 3 or 4 months ago, but she's about to be 1. Thank you guys for all your prayers during the pregnancy and just afterwards for our family. We appreciate it a lot. It reminds me so much of my baby girl. Her name's Olivia Rose, but we call her Livy for short. I kind of played around recently and put some of my hats and helmets on her head and took pictures, and it just reminds me so much of her. And I really like that picture a lot. So moving on here, I got 4 helmets. And I'll start with the first one here. This is a World War I era British Brodie helmet. It does not have a rim. And what's interesting right off the bat, you guys can see, is it's got a bullet hole, an impact. Don't think that's a bullet impact. It could just be hit from shrapnel or something, who knows what. But it's got a split right here in the front. It looks like maybe from the impact of being hit there, making that big dent, caused a split there in the front. It basically has no interior or anything. But it is British because it has the split rivets, right? And again, no rim. But it's really interesting, and the reason I've got it in this video is because I got it off eBay. And honestly, what did I pay for? I don't think it was just $1 million, close to it. $79. That's shipping and everything. Now, the reason I liked it, and you always buy the item, not the story, but this did have a story with it. And this is what was sent with it. It says, World War I British Brodie helmet, KIA found at Verdun, 9mm hole in battle damage. Says, let me set this down, I'm shaking a little bit. Latest now deceased owner of this helmet found it at Verdun, France many, many years ago. Excellent piece of history, second pattern Brodie, raw edge. Again, it doesn't have the rim. Says that saw its owner a casualty of the Great War, and she's got, different information and everything. But again, supposedly this was found in Verdun battlefield area. Again, obviously by the item, not the story. But it's very possible that this story is true. And so, again, for $79 shipped and everything with the damage and everything, I definitely wanted to go ahead and, I guess, roll the dice on it. But whether the story is 1,000% true or partially or whatever, I'm still thankful to have a relic like this in the collection because it is unique. Moving on here, I've got this World War II M1 McCord helmet. See, it's got like a yellowish paint on it here. And what's really cool about this helmet is I actually did a separate video on it when I first got it earlier. I was about to say this year. It's a new year now. Earlier last year. And I got this helmet, I think it was like 8 or 9 months ago from online Facebook Marketplace. But see, it says Bluey there on the back. It's got a 39 and then like a letter I, or it could be 1 in parentheses if you can see that. It says Bluey. And this belonged to John Thomas Blue. He was a radio man in the Navy during World War II. Again, if you want to watch the video more detailed on this helmet in that video, I'll put it, in the end screen of this video I'm making now. Anyways, John Thomas Blue, he was actually wounded on the first day of the Anzio beach landing. The ship that he was on was bombed by a German aircraft, and he was wounded. And his ship was basically offloading members of the Fifth Army onto the Anzio beachhead, and he was bombed. His ship was bombed and everything. It's a big story. You'll really like it if you haven't watched that video of mine. But I'm so thankful to have picked this helmet up. It does have a liner, which the insides are pretty roached. But this helmet, I got it for, well, the tag's covered up. Let me see. I got it, well, I still don't know what I got it for. I got it for, okay, I give up. But anyways, it'll say it in the video. But really nice helmet here. Again, with a liner. And so y'all check out that video. I'm going to let the video kind of speak for itself so I can keep moving along. But very, very interesting item. So thankful to have it in the collection. Moving on here, I've got two more helmets. And I know the lighting's kind of weird. It's kind of dark, but I got multiple lights on. So these helmets, they're both World War II McCord helmets. And if you can tell, they got like a grayish, ashy look to them. And the reason they're in this video is several years ago, I want to say it was maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I actually purchased 14 helmets that had been in a house fire, and all of them were burnt and roasted looking. And honestly, I did a little bit of cleaning up on them. I used the 0000 fine steel wool, just lightly sanded to get the burnt, scorched look off of them. It cleaned them up just a little bit. But again, these were in a house fire. And take a look at this. Can you see that the helmet's actually warped, which it's got, post World War II clamps right there, clips right there for the chin strap, but it's missing, but it's probably burnt. But anyway, see, it is a front seam helmet, but you can see that the helmet's just worn and warped and, just misshapen, evidently from the heat of the fire. This one right here is not really warped that much, but it's actually expanded, like it's wide. It's widened, evidently from the heat. And again, this one is a front seam as well, so it was a World War II McCord as well. But just interesting. And honestly, of the 14 helmets, these are the last two that I have. I sold one recently to a collector friend, and the other ones I sold years ago to one guy. And honestly, it like the collection varied so much. Like there was probably 9 or 10 different countries represented. Like there was World War I British, there was World War II American, there was like Bulgarian, I think there was like Czechoslovakian, I can't even remember them all, Yugoslavian and everything. So evidently whoever had them, the collector, whoever it was, they kind of liked a variety of helmets. And so I still have these two. I'm going to keep them. Just, it's kind of interesting to have, Nothing super special, but definitely interesting with a story to go with it. Moving on here, I've got 3 uniforms. And this first one here, you guys know I love 9th Armor, but the reason this one is in the video is because of the patch here. This patch is different than most of the other 9th Armor patches that I have. This one is more like a woolly style patch, like a felt style patch. You can see it by the border there all the way around, and just the design and texture of the patch. So it's really, really cool, and kind of one of those weird and different type items that you can find on a uniform and everything. Which brings me to my next one, another 9th Armored one. But look, this one has a dog chain border. So somebody used, like, dog tag chain, I guess. The border from, like, obviously from a dog tag chain. If you can see that all the way around. I love seeing, different stuff like this. Stuff that's personalized with different character and everything. Just like the stitching. A lot of you guys see the stitching around patches, or just different items on uniforms. It's really, really cool how the soldiers have different variations, or tailor-made stuff, or stuff they did themselves, just to kind of be unique, or or kind of funky or different, and be proud of their service and everything, and their awards and decorations. So pretty cool there. This last uniform here is, some of you might recognize it right off the bat. I made a separate video on this one just recently, but I don't want to spoil it too much, but please watch the video for this jacket here. Again, I'll put it in the end screens of this video if you guys will please watch it. And again, you'll like this helmet video as well. So this one's a 37th Infantry, and then it also has Army Air Corps patch on there. It belonged to Richard Schultz, who was a member of the 37th. And he was wounded during World War II on, I believe it was Bougainville. He was wounded by a Japanese grenade, and he actually lost his left ring finger and he actually was wounded in the thigh as well. And he had a brother that was in the 82nd Airborne, who, again, I don't want to run it too much because I'm hoping you guys will watch the other video if you haven't already. But it's very interesting, his brother's service and where he was at and what happened to this man's brother, whose name was Robert. This man's name was Richard, his brother was Robert. So y'all please watch that video, and there's a lot of history involved with this uniform and the man that was wore it or was issued this uniform, and especially his brother. Unfortunately, don't have his brother's uniform. That'd be really cool. But y'all please watch that video and comment on it. Let me know what you think. Some of you already know where I'm going with this. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you like this type of video, just to kind of show you more interesting or different, unique items from my collection. I'm always looking around my man cave and looking in display cases and in this and that and behind this and that, trying to find random or uncommon or unique and kind of different funky things to share with you when I make these type of videos. Hope you're doing well. God bless all of you. Hopefully we all have a great year of collecting, and I'll be getting back to you soon. So thank you.